I want to say one more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie.
I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird shit going on with this.
I know.
First of all, there was that one guy who was the decoy. All right. So you got this guy who's an older guy who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy, was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombings.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another.
Welcome to Behind the Fame, and thank you for being here. Your support truly helps this channel grow and keeps these deep dives coming. Now let's break down what really happened. The Charlie Kirk case has gone viral again following a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. And this time, the online conversation is louder than ever. Joe Rogan and Candace Owens both weighed in, raising questions that many viewers say mainstream outlets haven't fully addressed. In particular, attention has turned to Erica Kirk's reaction in the immediate aftermath of her husband's death. Some critics argue her early public appearances deserve more scrutiny, while others believe the speculation has gone too far. The official narrative states that on September 10, 2025, conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at Utah Valley University. Authorities arrested 22-year-old Tyler Robinson in connection with the case. From a legal standpoint, that is where the matter currently stands: an arrest, a pending trial, and an ongoing judicial process. But public discussion didn't stop there. Candace Owens recently shared claims on her podcast that, according to her, Charlie told multiple people the day before his death that he feared for his life.
First images of this rifle with a scope, I swear to God, it looks like he has a composite stock on it. Like it looks like a modern 30-06 rifle. So a 30-06, so that's the rifle. 30-06 is like, that looks like a very modern looking stock. I mean, it might not be. It might be.
She said 3 individuals privately confirmed to her that Charlie expressed concern that they were going to kill him. She emphasized that at least 2 of those alleged conversations were documented in writing. It's important to note that these claims have not been independently verified in court. Still, the allegation itself has fueled renewed online debate. Joe Rogan also discussed the situation on his show. Rather than making direct accusations, he questioned aspects of the official account, including details about the weapon allegedly used and whether the accused had the skill set described in reports. Rogan framed his comments as skepticism about inconsistencies, not as confirmation of an alternative theory. And that distinction matters. When high-profile media figures publicly say something doesn't add up, millions of listeners begin re-examining the timeline.
Every day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought was...
Not because conclusions have been proven, but because doubt has been introduced into the conversation. Candace went further, stating that if Charlie truly told people he believed he was in danger, that detail should not be ignored. She encouraged those individuals to come forward publicly if they felt able. Again, no official documents have confirmed such warnings, but the claim itself has had impact. Then she made a broader cultural observation, questioning why, historically, public figures who die suddenly are often memorialized quickly through tributes, dedications, or symbolic gestures. She referenced patterns in American history, asking whether public honors sometimes function as closure mechanisms for institutions eager to move forward.
I read between the lines. Did Candace Owens insinuated, saying it out loud, that President Trump is behind Charlie Kirk's?
And really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know. We just know that he was truly betrayed. in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in.
That comment sparked intense reaction online. Supporters say she's calling for accountability. Critics say she's escalating speculation without verified evidence. Meanwhile, questions continue circulating about Erica Kirk's conduct in the weeks after Charlie's death, her public interviews, her leadership role within Turning Point USA, and the pace at which operations resumed. Some see strength and resilience. Others see optics that feel unusual. None of those interpretations have been proven as wrongdoing. But perception, especially in the digital age, spreads fast. What's clear is that this case has moved beyond a simple criminal investigation in the public imagination. It has become a broader conversation about power, politics, loyalty, influence, and narrative control. At this point, there are two parallel realities unfolding. One in the courtroom, where evidence will be examined formally, and one online, where timelines, interviews, and reactions are being analyzed frame by frame.
100%. Charlie Kirk was shot from the front, and the bullet did not exit, and at least a fragment of the bullet was recovered from his neck. And I'm going to tell you exactly where it was recovered from. I have fact-checked this information from multiple sources now. I've actually been sitting on this for a little bit over.
The legal process is still ongoing. No final verdict has been reached. And until that happens, speculation remains speculation. But when major media figures question the story publicly, it guarantees one thing: the conversation isn't ending anytime soon. What do you think? Is this simply a high-profile case being dissected in real time? Or are there details that truly deserve deeper investigation? It's their signature move. That's what Candace Owens implied, that powerful institutions have a pattern of quickly honoring public figures after tragedy. She framed it as a kind of symbolic sign-off.
They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again. Shut the f up. Do you know how much time it would take to do that if you were highly skilled?
To disassemble a gun.
To disassemble a rifle so that you can get it in a backpack. And by the way, not going to fit.
Not going to fit in a backpack.
And then somehow or another reconnects it once he gets off the roof. What? This story is horseshit. Like,
Yeah.
none of these things make any sense to me. Like, you're telling me that this kid who's not military trained, this guy, first of all, how did he get to the roof? How come nobody was looking? How come nobody was like, there's a direct line of sight between where he's sitting and those roofs? You guys didn't check? You don't have a drone like that?
Whether you agree with her or not, that kind of statement grabs attention. Candace isn't an anonymous commenter online. She knew Charlie personally, and she's choosing to speak publicly about what she believes are inconsistencies. By doing that, she's putting her credibility on the line. That alone has kept this conversation alive. Now let's talk about the weapon claims, because this is where debate has intensified. On her show, Candace said she reviewed forensic details and was told that Charlie was shot from the front and that at least part of a bullet fragment was recovered from his body. She argued that this matters because bullet trajectory can reveal the angle and potentially the type of firearm involved. She then claimed that the recovered fragment did not match the .3006 rifle authorities say the suspect used, allegedly a family heirloom rifle. If that were accurate, it would raise serious questions. However, it's important to state clearly, no official forensic report released publicly has confirmed a mismatch. The case is still moving through legal channels, and the full evidence will ultimately be addressed in court. Still, when someone publicly says the bullet doesn't match the gun, people pay attention. That's where Joe Rogan enters the conversation. On his podcast, Rogan discussed unusual details reported around the scene. He questioned the story about an older man who allegedly caused a disruption immediately after the shooting.
He's on the roof. He shoots. He jumps from the roof. He jumps down 14 feet.
Yeah, we saw didn't they have video of him jump? Somebody had a cell phone video of him jumping.
There's
down,
a video
right?
of him jumping. So this guy, whoever it is, jumps off of the roof and lands, whether or not he's even the guy who shot him. Maybe he thought he was going to shoot him. Maybe he's a patsy. Maybe he did it.
I feel like he's a plant. Did you see the video? Did you see the person doing the investigating on his mom's Facebook?
No.
You haven't seen this? Have you seen that, Jamie? Some dude online.
His mom's got a weird Facebook. I spill coffee.
Rogan highlighted how strange behavior at high-profile incidents often fuels speculation, especially if that person later becomes unavailable for questioning due to unrelated legal issues. To Rogan, the bigger issue wasn't a single odd moment. It was the pattern of confusion. He also challenged the technical explanation about how the rifle was supposedly transported and assembled. Rogan, who has experience with firearms, questioned whether disassembling an older rifle, fitting it into a backpack, reassembling it on a rooftop, and making an accurate shot under pressure would be as simple as described. His point wasn't to declare a different culprit. It was to say the logistics deserve scrutiny.
That's what I hate. Because then it's like, Candace, you have to have a formed opinion on everything.
No, you don't have to have a formed opinion on everything. What you do have to have is the ability to know when you don't know what the you're talking about.
But I just said that. I said that to you the entire time.
I said this believe it.
I said I don't believe it. And then you asked me, and I said this wouldn't be the hill I chose to die on because I don't.
Right,
I don't.
But why
follow
even
it.
say you don't believe?
Then he raised concerns about security procedures. How did someone gain rooftop access? Were there blind spots? Were standard perimeter checks conducted? These are questions that typically come up in any major security review. But here's the key distinction. Asking whether procedures failed is not the same as proving a coordinated plot. Rogan's broader theory was about confusion itself. He suggested that when narratives feel messy, strange bystanders, technical inconsistencies, unanswered security questions, people begin doubting the official account.
Happens.
You can put the headphones on. You can hear
and again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
That's what the crazy thing was.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, if it was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
What? Someone shot their gun off in celebration and killed him.
You shoot celebration guns in
In his view, overwhelming the public with fragmented details can make it difficult to see a clear picture. That interpretation resonates with some viewers. Others argue that chaotic events often produce chaotic details, especially in fast-moving situations where information is still being gathered. What's undeniable is this. When major public figures question the mechanics of a case before a trial concludes, public skepticism grows. But skepticism isn't evidence. The legal system will ultimately examine forensic reports, ballistic analysis, witness testimony, and security footage under oath. That process hasn't finished yet. Right now, we're in the space between accusation and adjudication, and that's where speculation tends to thrive. So the real question becomes, are these inconsistencies signs of something deeper? Or are they the natural result of incomplete information circulating before all facts are formally presented? That's the line everyone is debating. They ended up doing a podcast together, and honestly, that part is healthy. We need conversations where tough claims are challenged directly instead of echo chambers forming on either side. During their discussion, Joe pushed Candace on the responsibility that comes with making major allegations. He said something that hit hard. You don't have to have a formed opinion on everything. What you do have to have is the ability to know when you don't know what you're talking about. That's a fair standard. Candace responded by clarifying that she never claimed certainty. She said she had told Joe from the beginning that she wouldn't die on that hill, meaning she wasn't staking her entire credibility on one unproven theory. She argued that she had been transparent about not having full confirmation. Joe's counterpoint was simple but important. Why hold a belief at all before the facts are verified? Why not say, "I don't know," and stop there? That exchange actually highlights the core tension in this entire situation. Candace believes there are too many inconsistencies to ignore. Joe believes suspicion without evidence can spiral into something dangerous. Both perspectives have logic behind them. We're in that uncomfortable middle ground where questions exist, but definitive proof has not been publicly presented. And that's where things get tricky. Because on one hand, when someone close to the victim says he feared for his life before the incident, that's serious. On the other hand, secondhand claims and unnamed sources aren't the same as sworn testimony or documented evidence released through legal channels. Now let's talk about media coverage. Some mainstream commentators floated early speculation about what might have happened before all details were confirmed. One segment suggested multiple possible scenarios, including accidental discharge. That framing drew heavy criticism online, especially from those who felt it was premature or unfair. Joe reacted strongly to that kind of speculation, arguing that rushing to fill in gaps without facts only adds noise to an already chaotic situation. And that's a valid concern across the board, whether it's media outlets, podcasters, or independent commentators. The bigger issue here isn't one side versus another. It's information versus interpretation. Here's what we actually know publicly. There is an official suspect in custody. The case is moving through the legal system. Forensic evidence and ballistic reports will ultimately be presented in court. Public commentary has outpaced confirmed documentation. Everything beyond that is debate, analysis, and interpretation. Joe's larger point seemed to be about intellectual discipline. Don't fill in blanks with certainty. Candace's point was about vigilance. Don't ignore patterns that feel off. Both positions can coexist. But here's the reality. Suspicion is not the same as proof. And unanswered questions are not automatic evidence of a coordinated plot. As this case continues through the courts, more verified information will surface. Until then, the smartest position might be holding space for questions while resisting the urge to lock into conclusions. So, what do you think? Is this a case where healthy skepticism is necessary, or are people letting uncertainty turn into something bigger than the evidence supports? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're following how this story develops, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown as more facts come out.